He was a great guy. He's from a small town in Montana and grew up as a rancher and ended up getting into the finance business and worked for Edward Jones for 25 years, which is why we're here in St. Louis. He loves being outdoors. He had lots of friends. It seemed like everybody who he interacted with loved him so much. His doctor said it's IBS, or, they weren't quite sure. And then finally, on October 23rd, it got really bad that evening. So Kyle was 47 years old when he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Our children were 4, 2, and not even 1 at that point. It's like this hurricane takes over. Dr. Keon Lim decided to take on Kyle's case, and all of his colleagues had told him this is a hospice case. But Dr. Lim said that he walked in and saw Kyle, how young he was and how young I was, and saw our kids. He was like, let's give it a shot.
This is a disease that is highly refractory or resistant to any kind of treatments, including surgery, radiation, or chemotherapy. So in itself, it's very difficult to treat.
We were sitting in the room of Dr. Keon Lim's, and I remember saying, what else is there? What else? And he was like, well, there really isn't much else. He's like, well, there are things in labs right now, studies in labs, waiting for funding, some really promising things. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. Dr. Lim had submitted the study to be approved and funded by the NIH. And I'm like, Dr. Lim, if you're telling me there's something in a lab right now that could save my husband's life, I want to know how much. And he said it was about $3 million to fund a phase 1 study. And so I looked at him and I said, I will find $3 million. Essentially, he said, let me see if we can run this by my board to see if we can get compassionate use approved for him. And then Dr. Lim essentially had to create a study of 1 and submit it to the FDA. Before we went to the FDA, we had to get watch use approval. We submit it to the FDA and we get a yes. So then after 5 months of standard care treatment, Kyle was patient number 1 in the entire world to get this treatment. It worked. And so essentially his cancer was non-active by the end of the year. It wasn't all pretty. We were in the hospital a dozen times, but we were willing to do anything. So we were elated. We were ready to start 2023, not cancer-free, right? But essentially go live our lives. So basically, the rest of his life, the next few months, we were battling treatment, hospital stay, steroid, and in the end, the cancer won. So April 3rd of 2023, I mentioned, was when he took his last breath. And now, in his name, I'm continuing to fundraise to try to raise enough money to be able to fund a phase 1 study so that other people don't have to go through what we went through. Whee!
My dad got this special medicine that no one has got before, and we're raising money so other people can get that. If we first got it when he first got sick, then I think he would be still alive right now.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kira Andersen, and my husband, Kyle Andersen, was diagnosed with pancreatic. One of the things that really attracted me to PEDAL was how oftentimes PEDAL feeds studies at the ground level. And actually the drug that Kyle got initially did get funded at that ground level through PEDAL the Cause.
We are able to deliver new therapeutics based on research done by these PEDAL Cause funding. And the progress I would like to see is patients and families not to be afraid. When you get diagnosed, you have to think about clinical trials, coming to major centers like ours where we have a group of dedicated people to take care of you and your family.
A lot of people say, I feel like I can't do anything. We can do something. Donate what you can, even if it's a small amount. If everyone just does a small amount, we can move mountains together.